Okay, Jeff, I think we're ready to go.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. We're delighted that you've been able to join us, or if you are watching after the event, that you're catching up with us. This is welcome to the second Challenger Rural Leadership webinar. And this follows one that we held back in January, at the time that we usually hold our course. And thanks to the encouraging feedback, we have presented another one for you. And we very much look forward to two main contributors. It's Gemma Hooper and Richard Bauer. Both of them were participants in our course in January 2019. And so fairly recent experience, but also they've had some challenging and recent experiences since, which we look forward to hearing about. So we're planning that the webinar will last just over an hour. And when our two main speakers are finished, there'll be an opportunity for a question and answer session, which will be led by Richard Soph, the course director. And so we would be grateful if you could send in any questions. There should be a Q&A panel on your screen. And if you could submit those anytime from now onwards, and we will try and feed those in. We can't guarantee to answer all of them, but those are more of an administrative question, a detailed question. Certainly Ali, the course administrator, will be getting back to you on those later on. But initially, I'd like to, first of all, I should be introducing myself. I'm Jeff Kerr. I'm the assistant director, assistant to Richard Soph, in running the course each year, which is held in January. And the course is very much part and parcel of the programme of educational activities undertaken, sponsored by the Worshipful Company of Farmers. And I'm delighted that Richard Whitlock, who is the master of the Worshipful Company of Farmers, has agreed to just say a few words to us now. So if I can hand over to you, Richard, welcome. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you very much indeed for that kind introduction, Jeff. And hello, everybody who've logged in. And I hope you pick up some nuggets of insightful information from today's presentations. And also, always useful from my perspective to look at what people are saying on the chat lines and the Q&A. It may surprise some of you, but that I was young once and I was at the start of my career, and I was going to give you a couple of bits of insight that I set as my goal when I was in my very early 20s, looking at this big mountain of a career progression to climb. And I'm not going to go on for very long, so I've just picked out two that I thought you might want to consider. The first one was identify who the inspiring leaders are that you can closely associate with and look upon them as your champions and who you will look for as your vision. One of my champions was a chap that I met when I was at college, and he was a lecturer, and he's now Professor John Wibberley. And probably some of you will know him. He's been kicking around in the agricultural education industry for a number of years. What I was shocked by when I met him about 6 or 7 years ago is that he's only 5 or 6 years older than me. And when I was a youngster, he seemed so much older than me. But he is somebody that I've engaged with on an ongoing basis, and he was one of my inspiring leaders. The other one was Richard Banks, who was my first employer, and I still keep in touch with him despite the fact that he is nearly 80. So I can say that they don't have to be age-old wisdom-seeking people that you lock onto. They can be just some people who you think, there's somebody who might inspire me, particularly in my moments